Many seniors find that their hobbies, once a source of happiness, slowly become overwhelming because of the physical clutter that accumulates. Boxes of unfinished craft supplies, stacks of old magazines, or shelves filled with unused equipment can create stress instead of joy. The more possessions pile up, the less space there is to actually engage in the activity itself. Over time, this clutter can cause feelings of guilt or frustration, making us feel weighed down instead of uplifted. It's not that the hobbies are wrong. It's simply that too much excess builds invisible barriers. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. When we see clutter for what it is, we can begin to reclaim the joy that hobbies were meant to bring. In my own life, I once kept dozens of puzzles and games, thinking I needed them all to stay entertained. The truth was I only returned to a few favorites while the rest collected dust. Instead of feeling grateful for the options, I often felt pressured to use them so they wouldn't go to waste. That pressure stole the very enjoyment I was hoping to find. It taught me that abundance is not the same as happiness. By keeping only what I truly used and loved, I rediscovered the fun of sitting down with a puzzle on a quiet afternoon. The clutter had been blocking the pleasure all along. Clutter also impacts our health and safety, something that becomes more important as we age. Too many items scattered around can create tripping hazards or make it harder to clean effectively. Dust collects, pests find hiding spots, and suddenly what was meant to be a joyful hobby turns into a burden on our health. A safe, clean environment is essential for seniors, and minimizing excess items plays a big role in that. Protecting our bodies while protecting our peace of mind is worth far more than any pile of unused materials. It's one of the most overlooked benefits of minimalism. Another hidden challenge of clutter is the emotional toll it takes. Every time we see piles of unused supplies, we may feel regret about money spent or guilt about unfinished projects. Those emotions weigh heavily on our spirit, especially in retirement years when we long for peace and fulfillment. By simplifying, we don't lose our hobbies. We regain them without the emotional baggage. A lighter heart makes space for a freer, happier mind. This emotional clarity is one of the greatest gifts of decluttering. Finally, clutter can even affect relationships. Family members may worry about the mess or feel burdened when helping us manage it. Guests may feel uncomfortable visiting, or we might avoid inviting them altogether. This isolation can creep in quietly, eroding the very sense of connection hobbies are meant to build. Removing clutter opens not just our homes, but also our lives to deeper, more joyful interactions. In this way, minimalism does far more than clean shelves. It restores connections to the people and passions we love. The first step in simplifying hobbies is to carefully choose which ones truly matter to us now, not which ones mattered decades ago. Life changes, and so do our interests. It's natural to outgrow certain activities, or to realize that they no longer fit our current energy levels or living spaces. By asking ourselves, does this hobby bring me joy today? We can begin to separate what's meaningful from what's simply leftover clutter. This process isn't about giving up fun. It's about making room for deeper satisfaction. For example, gardening can be enjoyed on many different scales. Some seniors still love tending a full backyard garden, while others may find joy in a few potted plants by the window. The beauty of minimalism is that it allows us to adapt hobbies to fit our current lifestyle without losing the essence of the activity. A small herb garden can bring just as much joy as a sprawling plot, with less maintenance and clutter. It's the experience, not the excess, that brings true fulfillment. Another important consideration is the financial cost of hobbies. Retirement often brings fixed incomes, and expensive hobbies can create stress rather than relaxation. Minimalism encourages us to choose activities that enrich our lives without draining our wallets. Reading, walking, drawing, or playing music are affordable yet deeply rewarding. These simple hobbies also avoid filling the house with endless supplies or gadgets. Instead, they offer ongoing joy without ongoing expenses. We also benefit from considering the physical demands of certain hobbies. Seniors may no longer have the same stamina or strength they once did, and that's perfectly natural. Choosing hobbies that align with our bodies ensures we can enjoy them without injury or exhaustion. Light activities like knitting, writing, or birdwatching can be just as satisfying as more demanding ones, while also being gentler on our health. Aligning hobbies with our capabilities is an act of self-respect and care. Ultimately, choosing minimalist-friendly hobbies gives us freedom. It frees us from clutter, from financial strain, from unnecessary stress, and even from physical risks. Instead of hobbies being a burden, they return to being a source of joy and growth. By curating our activities carefully, we invest in quality over quantity. This shift is what makes hobbies a true gift in our later years, rather than just another box of things taking up space. Even when we limit our hobbies, supplies are often necessary. The key is to store them in ways that are simple, safe, and efficient. Clear containers, labeled shelves, and dedicated spaces make it easy to find what we need without rummaging through piles. When items are organized, the activity itself becomes smoother and more enjoyable. Instead of spending energy searching, we spend it creating, playing, or learning. Organization transforms clutter into calm. One lesson I've learned is to give each hobby a defined space. A single drawer for knitting, one small shelf for painting, or a tidy box for puzzles keeps everything contained. If supplies don't fit in their space, it's a sign to reduce them. This boundary prevents hobbies from overtaking the home. It also makes cleanup easier, which means hobbies stay fun rather than becoming a chore. Clear limits are not restrictions. They are protections for our peace. Minimalism also means letting go of duplicates. Many of us collect more tools, brushes, or fabrics than we could ever use. Often, one or two high-quality items serve us better than dozens of lower-quality ones. By keeping only the essentials, we not only clear space but also elevate our experience of the hobby. Quality, not quantity, brings satisfaction. This principle applies across every hobby, from cooking to crafting. Technology offers new ways to simplify hobbies as well. Digital books replace overflowing shelves. Online tutorials replace stacks of instruction manuals, and even music or art can be enjoyed in digital formats. These solutions reduce clutter while still allowing creativity and growth. Seniors who embrace these options often find new joy in combining tradition with innovation. Technology, when used mindfully, supports a minimalist approach beautifully. Finally, sharing and donating extra supplies is a powerful way to keep hobbies clutter-free. Local schools, community centers, or younger family members can often put unused items to good use. Instead of feeling guilty about waste, we can feel proud that our supplies are serving others. This act of generosity not only clears our homes but also strengthens our sense of purpose. It turns decluttering into a meaningful legacy, showing that even small acts can make a big difference. Minimalism teaches us that the true value of hobbies lies in the experience, not the equipment. It's the laughter during a game of cards, the focus while painting a picture, or the calm of tending a plant that brings joy. None of these require endless supplies or elaborate setups. By focusing on the present moment, we rediscover the simple pleasures that hobbies provide. This mindset shift is at the heart of living minimally. I remember a time when I believed more supplies meant more creativity. Yet when I pared down my collection to just a few tools, I found myself more inspired. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by options, I felt focused and free. Creativity flows better when it isn't buried under excess. Seniors can embrace this truth by recognizing that less often leads to more. More joy, more peace, and more connection to the activity itself. This is the magic of simplicity. Another benefit of valuing experiences over possessions is the way it enriches our memories. When we look back, we don't recall every item we owned. We recall the feelings, laughter, and moments shared. A simple afternoon spent knitting with a friend or reading in the sun leaves a deeper impression than a shelf full of unused supplies. Seniors, especially, deserve to fill their later years with rich, meaningful memories, not cluttered storage rooms. Hobbies also become more accessible when we strip them down to their essence. Travel may not be possible for everyone, but storytelling, singing, or even exploring local parks can bring the same joy with fewer complications. By adapting hobbies to be experience-focused, we make them sustainable for years to come. This ensures they continue to nourish our spirit rather than overwhelm us. Joy should never be limited by clutter. Ultimately, finding joy in the experience helps us feel lighter in every aspect of life. The focus shifts from accumulating to appreciating, from owning to enjoying. This is the core of minimalism for seniors, reclaiming happiness through simplicity. When we stop chasing more and start savoring what we already have, hobbies become a true gift. That gift doesn't sit on a shelf. It lives in our hearts, where it belongs. As seniors, our approach to hobbies can inspire younger generations.